Having already signed Eric da Silva Morena, Elliot Anderson, Carlos Miguel and Marco Stamic, Forest are already after another player, but it does look like we're being a lot more sensible, and I have to say I like it. Keep it up, Forest. I mean, this could all backfire if they all end up being monumental flops and we're saying Forest are useless at transfers again, but let's not talk like that. All three of those new signings looked very sharp, very encouraging, so that's good. And it looks like we've got a fourth player on the way. I know we've signed technically 5, but Stamic isn't here. The next player who Forest have reportedly agreed to sign is MILENKOVIC. I actually think I may have got a name correct straight away. Obviously I'm part Serbian, so it's obviously second nature to me to be able to pronounce, you know, Serbian names. I'm not part Serbian. Florentina centre-back, 26 years of age, only 12 million, which this day and age is a drop in the ocean. Again, we need a centre-back, obviously Murillo, Omabaradelli and Bolly, even Wall at the club. We're going to need to replace probably Wall if he doesn't stay, and is he good enough? And obviously we've lost, well, Felipe and Scott McKenna as well, and Niakate, so you're going to need to sign probably 1 or 2 centre-backs. Especially if we plan on playing through at the back like we did in our first friendly, at least in the first half. And it's something that Nuno obviously has liked to do in the past. Now we are less than 90 subscribers away from 6,000 subscribers. Thank you very much everyone that has subscribed, but we want to get more. We want to get to 6k, so please, if you're new and you're watching this for the first time, help us out. Hit the subscribe button, like the video. That would be absolutely brilliant. MILENKOVIC, I'm really encouraged by. He played a big part for Serbia at the Euros. Obviously, Serbia didn't go all that well. Rock bottom of their group, in probably the worst quality group I've ever seen. Then again, England were in it. Somehow got to the final, which we're not going to talk about. 57 caps for Serbia. Also a regular for his club. Played a vital part in getting Florentina to the Conference League final, of course losing to Marinakis' other club in Olympiacos. Can also play at right back, which could be very interesting and useful for us. So yeah, I'm encouraged by this one. Unlike the other players that I'm going to talk about, this one has actually seemingly been agreed to happen. It's just a matter of time. We're kind of at medical stage, so this is very encouraging, and I'm just pleased to see Forest actually doing business early, and hopefully by the time we get to the first game of the season, we've got a pretty competent, in fact very competent squad. I mean, look at the 2 starting 11s against Chesterfield. I know, you know, they're designed to have that balance. They're both very strong teams, right? Apart from the odd player who's being tested out. Very strong. Just briefly looking at non-rumours, Ryan Yates looks like he's going to be signing a new deal at Forest. Obviously signed a new deal a few seasons ago. His contract expires in, well, next year, 2025. I think it's a no-brainer. He gets probably the most stick I've ever seen of any Forest player, even though he continues to be the heartbeat of the club. Okay, he's not the most glamorous player. You need a Ryan Yates in your team. I just don't care what anyone says. You need someone like Ryan Yates. And according to the Telegraph, Forest do want to prioritise signing a centre-back, as I mentioned in MILENKOVIC, and there's a few centre-backs are being linked with as well as him, as well as a striker and a winger. It's quite clear we need to sign a winger. We've only got really Hudson-Odoi and Alanga, who are proper natural wingers, or regular wingers that can play there, and then striker, well, Awani is great, but always injured, and Wood, well, he's also fantastic, and arguably ahead of Awani now, but he's also sometimes injured, and he's getting on. I mean, he's still got a few years left in him, obviously, but 32 now, you can't always rely on him maybe in the same way, but I don't think we should worry about that too much because he's Chris Wood. He'll score goals. Xhaka BIGIL is being linked with us. He was a big part of the Slovenian team at the Euros, and even though Slovenia aren't a world force, of course, they arguably had one of the best defences at the Euros. Very, very, very solid defensively. They needed to score a few more goals, but they drew every game, which isn't great, but they were really very impressive at the back. I mean, they kept clean sheets against England and Portugal, and arguably should have beaten Portugal. It's just that they couldn't take penalties properly. Now, are we signing him or interested in signing him because of his Euro performance? It's always a little bit sceptical when you see a player perform well at a tournament. Can they do it? You know, they're just living off that hype. I'm not sure, but he played a big part for Udinese last season, so another Italian club. Besides quite a lengthy injury in the middle of the season, he was a regular, played basically 90 minutes every time when available, so that's quite encouraging. 25 years of age, would probably, I don't actually know the price, it doesn't say anywhere what the price might be. Again, I'd be pretty interested in this one. Again, a bit unproven in terms of playing in the Premier League. He wouldn't have played over here before. And again, I think most people, at least right now, are basing it off how he played for Slovenia, which is not always the most accurate way of looking at things. Another one is Jake O'Brien from Lyon. He is an Irish centre-back, 23 years of age. Forest reportedly wanted to bid 30 million. Now, this was a couple of weeks ago. So it may have died down by now. I think it probably has. However, I wanted to mention it because that price tag, like 30 million, he's come through the Crystal Palace ranks as well as playing for Swindon Town and Cork City. He now plays in Lyon, so a bit of a culture shock for him. 4 goals from centre-back as well in only 1 season at Lyon. It's very impressive actually. So yeah, that's being reported a while ago. I think it may have died down possibly. This one though is very fresh and recent, only in the last couple of days. Marco Friedel from Werder Bremen, a centre-back, again, 10 to 15 million would be the price tag apparently. Can also play at left-back, which could be very encouraging. He's Austrian, he wasn't at the Euros. He has been the captain of Werder Bremen as well, and nearly 170 appearances for the German club. So this is interesting. Again, he's got that captaincy role about him. 26 years of age, so a decent age, of course, for a player. Very good age, in fact. Again, pretty fresh. It would give us good depth in multiple positions. But again, in terms of most likelihood of all these centre-backs, the one that's actually reportedly been agreed, it is the Serbian. It is MILENKOVIC. But those others are being rumoured as well. Now, I don't really know if I should mention this one because it was around quite a while ago, but I have seen fresh reports about Shea Adams. Now, Wolves were interested a while ago, Everton are now interested, and Torino, it does appear Forest is still keen. I'm not too sure, if I'm honest. I know I keep mentioning the Euros, but this is because all these players featured, minus Friedel. Wasn't very good for Scotland, Adams, only a prolific striker for Southampton, at the very least in the Championship, has scored goals in the Premier League. If you want a third choice striker, I don't think it's too bad. Like, if you've got Wood and Awani and Adams, I think that's actually a good set of strikers. But I also feel like you can do a lot better, you know. I feel he was in the Championship last season. I just don't know. It would be a bit more of an experienced one, 28 years of age. I just feel, I'm not sure, honestly, how to feel about it. I really don't. I said a while ago I'd actually take it, but I'm not sure how to feel about Adams, whether it would even be a good signing or not. I mean, do you stick with Emmanuel Dennis? He'd solve an issue in terms of depth on the wings and get someone else in, but have him as an option. He can also play down the middle. You know, we wouldn't have to sign anybody. I mean, Emmanuel Dennis or Divock Origi. I'm probably picking Dennis, if I'm entirely honest. So you could do that. You could rely on Dennis as a third choice. I don't think we will do that. Or do you get somebody like Adams, just, you know, willing to be a backup option, but hopefully can step up when you need him? It's going to be interesting to see what happens with striker and winger. That's all I've got to say, really. There's no outgoings at all that I've seen, like concrete rumours. Obviously, Wall could be leaving. All the loanees that came back probably could be leaving, despite, like, Josh Bowler scoring. It's a good chance they're going to leave this window. Murillo is going to be continuously linked with moves away, but nothing concrete in the last week that I've seen at the very least. But yeah, stay tuned to the channel for any big news, of course. If you have enjoyed this, please hit the like button, subscribe to Rads if you're new. Trying to get to 6,000, so please help us get there. Up the Reds. Thanks for watching.